the concept of banning TikTok is not new here.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
one state finally actually went ahead and did it. The federal
Mm-hmm.
government ain't gonna do it because they still trying to figure out how to get the app on their phones because they freaking
Yes.
80 something years old,
Yeah.
right? And so
Yeah.
hopefully somebody can help Diane figure that one out, how to get to where she can vote on what we're going to do with this TikTok
Yeah. Yeah.
bill that's
Yeah.
going to be in front of her desk.
Mm-hmm.
So in Montana here, this is written up in the AP, 5 TikTok content creators have filed a lawsuit seeking to overturn Montana's first in the nation ban on the video sharing app, arguing that the law is an unconstitutional violation of free speech rights.
Mm-hmm.
The Montana residents also argued in the complaint filed in federal court late, this was last Wednesday, without public notice, that the state doesn't have any authority over matters of national security. Because again, remember, this was a national security concern.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Mm-hmm.
why they had the hearing in Congress, right?
Yes. Yes.
And this is why the government is not allowing it on their phones, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Republican Governor Greg Guinefort signed a bill into law Wednesday and said it would protect Montana residents' private data and personal information from being harvested by the Chinese government. And how you do that
No way.
is,
No way you can. There's no way you can guarantee that.
well, you could do that by like not allowing TikTok to operate in your state.
Yeah. That.
You know,
That. Yeah. Yeah. You
that's
can
the
do
only
that way.
way.
Yeah.
So you don't have it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
ban is scheduled to take effect January
There's a way
1,
around it though, but we'll get to it.
January 1, 2024.
Mm-hmm.
The law takes the broadest possible approach to its objective, restricting and banning the protected speech of all TikTok users in Montana to prevent the speculative and unsubstantiated possibility that the Chinese government might direct TikTok Incorporated or its parents to spy on some Montana users. This was also part of the complaint, right? And so TikTok is arguing that the law infringes on people's First Amendment rights. So TikTok is also, of
Mm-hmm.
course, on board there because they want as much users as possible.
Yeah.
Um, Now, we kind of use TikTok for the show,
Yeah. Yeah.
as it stands,
Mm-hmm.
as it's still a platform that's allowed. And I come across these profiles. There's a lot of people that's built up a living. They make a
Yeah.
living
Yeah.
on
That's
TikTok now.
true.
They've some people
It's
have
true.
amassed like generational wealth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They've done well.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have been exploited too, so that's, there's bad
That's also
sides
true.
to that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but there's some Montana content creators that are they're gonna need a pivot.
Yeah. For
They're
sure.
gonna need a pivot. Get
They
that bit
definitely
on
need to.
YouTube Shorts,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
I think Instagram has these reels and stuff
Yeah. They're gonna
now.
have to go hard on Instagram
And
or
go have to
something.
go hard on somewhere else
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
TikTok might be up out of here.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a legitimate chance. For sure.
that's gonna be so.
Mhm.
Yeah, we use it a little bit for the show, but it's not like it's a primary source to disseminate our
Yeah.
content.
There's definitely other avenues we could use. For
There's
sure.
other avenues.
Mm.
So I'm if you're a content creator out there,
Mm.
maybe it's time to start thinking about, migrating some of your followers,
Mm-hmm.
encouraging them to maybe download that that other app. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And it might have to be an upcoming app, maybe,
Yeah.
so or something like that. But you gotta get
Yeah.
your people's over. TikTok is about to get out of here.
Sure. Sure. And there are always other companies and other developers that are creating other apps to like rival TikTok, right? To provide the same type of
Mm-hmm.
fluidity, convenience, and just style, right? Now there's a way to get away with this, folks in Montana, which was also mentioned in the article, is using a VPN, right? Essentially, with a VPN. So just to explain how a VPN works in layman's terms to people who they hear the term, they're like, hey, I'll use VPN, but this is really how it works.
What does VPN stand for?
So VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. That's what it stands for. And essentially what a VPN does is it conceals your actual geographical location by essentially jumping you to another location geographically, right? So wherever you're located at, there's like, you can go on your web browser even now if you have some chance and say, hey, what's my public IP? So based on your public IP, that gives an approximation of where you are physically, right? Because depending on where you are in the country or in the world, there's like IPs have different octets.
Data protocols.
Octets. Yeah, they have. It's the same protocol because the protocols are usually IPv4,
Mhm.
IPv6, but IPv4 is what we get these IP addresses from that we see where there's like 4 octets, where it's like, I don't know, 1.1.192.60 or something like that. Just it's random. So octets will be the numbers within those dots, right? So, but you'll have like an actual general IP that will show like, oh, this person's in the US, or this person is in Australia, this person is in the UK or whatever. But what a VPN does is it conceals your actual location. So it conceals that IP and gives you a totally different IP. And you're basically pinging from, according to the network that you're on or attached to, you're pinging from Japan, or like depending on the VPN server that you use, right? Or you're pinging from this, you know what I'm saying? So like,
okay, so something's happened to me before. I have a couple experiences with the VPNs, right? First of all, I don't know if that should always be working like that. It be saying it's on, but I don't know if that should really be on.
There are VPNs and there are VPNs.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so that's one. The other thing, I was in Japan at one point trying to watch something on Netflix.
Yeah.
And apparently that thing on Netflix, I don't know if it was Netflix, and it was that thing on Netflix. It don't show up over there.
Yeah, because
they don't show up in Japan. So I use a VPN thinking, I'm say, hey, I'm in LA or something. You know what I mean? I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
And I still couldn't see the content.
Still couldn't see, yeah. So there's some VPN services that work better than others. I will say that.
And then there's another thing. So like, let's say if I wanted to, I remember I was doing this for. Let's call them the Napster days, okay? The Napster days.
We already know.
You know what I mean?
I knew where you're going.
And you're trying to acquire some content. You know, and this freaking FBI warning comes up. You're thinking you can put the VPN on. Yeah. Because it's like you go to a different, I'm coming from a different country to get to this content. Yeah. FBI ain't got no jurisdiction here. And my VPN didn't work. The FBI thing still came up. So the feds is watching. They still watching.
They always watching it.